Hey, Binger. Hey, Binger. All right. 1 second, folks. All right. Good morning, friends. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We got Brian. We got Bill. We got Jimmy. Morning, friends. Are we even here? Good morning. Good Monday morning. So glad you guys are going on. We are here. Morning, Paige. Hey, friends. I can still hear you sing. I don't know why I have that song stuck in my head. I don't. It's a good song. Hola! Hola! You're only. Good morning, Juan. Good morning, friend. How's everybody doing? Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Classic. Classic says, good morning, T Crew. Good morning to you, Classic. Good morning, Catzilla. You're here, Cat. Bill, do you have like a list of people that are here? Good morning, Carnivorous. I think Bill. Is this Bill's channel? I feel like this is Bill's channel sometimes. I'm kidding, Bill. I'm kidding. I like giving Bill a lot of gruff. A lot of gruff. Don't give Bill rough. That's my dog. I'm gonna go. Hold on. 1 second, folks. Just checking something out here. Okay. Good morning, friends. I got my phone charging. I have quite a story to talk to you about, and we'll see if it works. Checking my phone right now. I don't know if it is working or whatnot. I'm checking. I'm making sure. So I bought a wireless charger for my phone. Pixel 9. And I don't know if it's working. Like, I've had it on the wireless charger. Good morning, nerd. I've had it on the wireless charger for a few days now. And it hasn't lost any it hasn't lost any charge. So now I just used my phone and it's gone down to 99. I can plug the phone back into an outlet and it'll plug back, it'll charge up. Now I'm seeing if I have a wireless charger and seeing if that'll charge my phone. These are things to play around in my head. I don't know if it's all gonna work. Why am I talking about this? I don't know. It's just things that are going on in my head. This is what's going on. This is what my weekend's been. We got big news. I don't mean to spring the news, but like Pops has some big news. He'll I have a QI charger. McCool says, "Are you drunk, bro?" No, I wish I was. Thank you, though. This world would be a lot better right now if I was halfway in it. Am I right? Am I right? If you were drunk and unable to think reasonably, if you were unable to casually back away from life in a drunk way, wouldn't that just be great? What if I had no sensibility right now. Wouldn't that be great? Drunk. I look drunk, and that's great. I'll accept that. I will accept that. I'm just talking about a wireless charger on my phone. Welcome to T Crew, folks. Live here. One second, folks. Alright, now we're back. I don't think it's charging, so I'm gonna do one thing. Here's the thing. Good morning, folks. Good morning, folks. It says nerd. It says S&M Manchester United. It's the only team available. It's the only team to root for. So let's go for it. We'll see. We'll see if it's It says it's charging, but it's not charging. I think I need a 15 watt. I think I need, alright, so here's the story. Here's the story. Good morning, S&M. Welcome. Welcome, my friend. Here's the story. Is I went to see, it's not a 15 watt, Brian. It's a 10 watt. It goes up to 10 watts, so it's not gonna, I don't think, it says Chelsea is probably gonna win. I'm just hoping that we don't get regulated. I'm hoping that, like, Everton gets regulated before we do. Alright? It says wireless key compatible. Samsung S9, S10, Note 10, right? iPhone 8, iPhone 11 Pro. Good morning, folks. This is what we're dealing with now. Good morning, MVP. This is what I have. It's a Monday. We were working to break the radio, but we're dealing with the wireless charger right now. Good morning, friends. How are you doing today, Aaron? I think that's the question that needs to be answered. How are you doing today? Cause if you don't love me now. Jesse says, I am not a bot. I love my community. I'm not a bot either, Jesse. And we love that you're a part of the community. Thanks for being here. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a great day. Morning, Waz. Brian says I haven't bought anything for a while. It's alright, it's still here. It's still available. I don't know, we'll talk to CCS about whatever that future is. Good morning. Let me go. I'm just messing with my phone here this morning. We'll get into the book here in a minute. We'll get into talking about some stuff. I don't know. Let me go check my phone real quick. Okay? 1 second. Sorry, folks. Sorry, hold on. Hold on, folks. I can still hear you. So, dealing with my phone. Alright, 1 second. My phone's plugged over there. We got a fly strip right there. It's why I don't have. It's all hanging. And I know I shouldn't be doing this right now, but you know it's where we're at. All right, this is what I got going on for you guys. What I had to offer. Hold on, folks. Ah, what are you talking about? No, I won't charge at all. Sorry, folks. Hold on. For those of you wondering what the hell's going on, I'm trying to work with my phone. And now my phone won't charge anymore. Hold on, folks. So I plugged my phone in and I had it sitting on a charger. Alright, so I'm gonna restart my phone. Okay, so I'm restarting my phone. Thanks everybody. Sorry for dealing with this here. Sorry, Waz. Sorry, guys. It's been a weird morning. It's a weird morning. I'm dealing with my phone. Alright, I'm just dealing with my phone. Good morning, friends. I think my battery... Oh, Brian, I think you're right. Hold on. Haha, MVP. You're funny. I don't do that with my phone. Haha. You're funny, MVP. 1 second, folks. Let me go try and plug it in now. Plug it in, plug it in. I think I broke my phone. I think I zapped my phone. It won't charge after I plugged it in now. Did I zap my phone? Did I do that? Did I do that? Did I break my phone? Anybody know if I broke my phone? It's not at 100, Herbie. It's not at 100. It's not even like taking the plug anymore. Alright, it's okay. I'll walk down to Verizon. I do. I do. No, Herbie, I don't. It's not a dirty charging port. Nothing's dirty about it. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Just so you can see. Here we go. Hold on. We'll get into the book here. We'll get into the book after I get done dealing with this stupid phone. Alright? So. After I get done dealing, we got. Alright, hold on. Okay, so it's the cord. Something happened with this cord. Dumb cord. I don't know what happened to the cord. I bought the new. You know what it is? Okay. So here's the story about my phone. It's plugging in right now. I gotta get a 15-watt charger for my phone. 15-watt wireless charger, and I think I can buy one, alright? Here's the big story. Sorry, folks. Thank you for hanging out with me. God dang. Sorry, folks. Let's reset, shall we? Goodness, criminy and a half. I got a new charge cord. I've got a new charge cord. Oh, I know that, Karn. Nerd, I got a new card. I got a new cord. Alright. Whew! Sorry, folks. This has been a weird little show. Been a weird little... Yeah, we got the alternator kicking in. We're at level 3 on the alternator. We're gonna... Let's just do this, and then I'll tell the story, okay? Let's just dibble-dabble. Get the hell out of here, you know? Well, don't get out of here yet. We still got a half hour to go. A little more than a half hour. Morning, Sandy. Morning. Jesus Christ says, stick it up your nose. I've done that before. If you have never taken a hit off your vape pen through your nose, you've never actually smoked. Okay. The story goes, I bought a phone back in November. It's a Pixel 9. It's a great phone. Because I jacked up the battery on my last two phones. And so I finally got a new phone. This phone, after like 5 years of dealing with a janky, wacky battery, right? So now I got a new phone. So now I gotta worry about the new battery. And I try not to take it off the wire. Like, I worry a lot. I waited. Page says you're waiting for the S25. Okay. Pixel 9's a nice phone. I didn't know how nice it was until this week. I suppose, unless I just broke my battery. So I went around and I was like, all right, let me go get a wireless charger. Because you can just put the phone on the wireless charger, take it off, put it back on the phone, and it'll charge whenever, as much as you want. And so that's how it works. That's how, like, instead of having to plug it in, plug out, and so on and so on. Herbie says I have two Androids, the S10 and the X24. Nice. I like the Android system a lot better than the iPhone system. It's a little more, it's just something I'm more used to. Some people say the iPhone system is a little more intuitive. I don't know. Anyhow, so I went and I went to this store, this local store that's right around the corner, phone, tablet, fixer, computer store. It's janky. And so when I go to the store and I go, I need a wireless charger, and they go, yeah, sure, let's. So I pay $30 for this wireless charger, 15 watt even. And I was like, Eric, did you get the 15 watt? They're like, yeah, it's 15 watt. And so I bring it back and it's right on the edge of being compatible with my phone. And I realized that place is probably about 3 years. Everything they have in there is like 3 to 5 years old. Nothing is state of the art in that place at all. And so they didn't have anything close to being able to power up my phone. Alright. So I haul ass down to Verizon. And that's a hell of a walk for me. That's a 1.5 mile walk. And I go, alright. And I walk in there and I go, do you guys have a wireless charger for the Pixel 9? And they go, yeah, absolutely. $66. Now, I had been on Amazon, and Amazon said that there were chargers available for $15. 15 watt, 12 to 15 watt, $15 charger that said that it says it's compatible with the Pixel 9. Brock, do you leave your phone plugged in most of the time you're at home? Yes, I do, Herbie. Good morning, Mushy. I do. I leave it plugged in a lot. In fact, 1 second. It was at 98 when I plugged it in, now it's at 99, which means it's charging. This is the things that go on in my head. This is the OCD, like, anxiety wackadoo, because I remember I've broken 3 or 4 phones already because of this. Android batteries do get, Herbie, you have to take it off charge for about 10 to 15 minutes a day. When I run the YouTube channel on that phone, it drops it down to about 97, and then I plug it back. It is modern problems, Kim. I absolutely agree. We'll get back into learning about not so modern problems coming up, political problems, and create more. Yeah. But this is what's going on. This is a little snippet, little window into the wackadoo that is my brain. I really care about my phone. I don't have any other contact with anybody else in any other way except for my phone, you know, so I worry about it. So it's charging. I gotta get... So Verizon. $66 charger. I'm like, I don't know. You know what, let me go... Because I have a rule that for big purchases, like, you don't make them like, boom, right there. You can't. You're done. You're done if you make big purchases, boom, like that. Like, you got to give yourself a moment. You got to be able to walk away and then walk back. Okay? So I'm like, alright, 66, let me keep that in my head. So I walk out the door and I see there's an AT&T store right down the way. AT&T. Hey guys, I need a wireless charger. You guys sell any here? They're like, yeah, absolutely. What kind of phone do you have? I have a Pixel 9. And the lights on their faces lit up. Woo! Oh my God, you got a Pixel 9? So apparently, I have a great phone. I didn't know. I mean, I knew, but I didn't know it was like still great, you know. 6 months later, it's still great. Alright, cool. Don't break your phone. Can I get a wireless charger? Yeah. Here you go. And I online I'm looking for 15 watt, and this one says on up to 10 watt. And so I didn't trust it a little. And so now I dropped $15 for that. For this. 15. I'll give it $15. I'll test something out for 15. 15. For 2 little wireless chargers. But you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for, apparently. Apparently you get what you pay for. So now I'm going to try and find a 15 watt compatible with my phone charger. But we're back on the wire now. That's fine. We're back on a leash. Just means I don't get to do too much with my phone. That's fine. Back on the leash. Unplug the thing from the wall. You know? Buy once, cry once. Exactly, Mr. Phillips. Exactly. Hookah Shop Electronics, Herbie says. Absolutely they are. It's Hookah Shop Electronics. You know? Hopefully you don't break your phone or you don't break anything that you're, trying to use the electronics on. So, alright. So, the AT&T charger, I'm not going to take it back. No refund on the one from the janky place. They're like, we don't offer refunds. And I'm like, you know what? Just take your thing from me. Here, just take this. I don't want it anyways. So I just gave him back the charger. It works on, like, all the other, like, on my dad, on Pop's phones, it works. But Pops is like, I'll never use a wireless charger. I don't want this. And I go, okay, I'll take it back. No problem. So, and they're like, oh, we can give you store credit. Like, yeah, what else janky do you want me to buy from you guys? You know? Like, do you have any cases? We don't have any cases. Jeez Louise. Dibble. Morning Pacers. Dabble. This this double is dedicated to all of you. Thanks for listening to my silly phone story. So that's what I got going on. So I'm back on a phone leash. Let's get into the book. Can I tell you, I've been trying to watch stuff lately, these iceberg videos on YouTube where, you know, quick little 1 minute, 2 minute blips and blurps on, you know, a bunch of things. And it turns out that, number one, a lot of people can't read ghost stories without trying to sound like a ghost story. And that's a little annoying. Isn't it? Isn't it just a little annoying when you're like, and then... Like, quit being so dramatic. Like, the story itself is dramatic. Knock it off, guy. Or lady. Even the ladies. Like, and now. Like, oh, man. Goodness. And so I'm trying to figure out what to do with the other channel. 1 second here. And keep thinking, like, do I want to do ghost stories? Do I want to read creepy stories? Do I want to do crime stories? Do I want to do science stories? Do I want to do, you know, or whatnot? And it turned, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Aaron says, hell yeah, all of it. Absolutely. But I kind of like what we're doing here, where I just read a book at you guys. I kind of like just reading a book at you guys. But I don't, you know what I mean? I think you guys enjoy this. I don't know. Like, maybe just stay live. Just read live. Like, you tune in whenever you want. Maybe, I don't know if I want to do, like... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm still trying to figure it out. So in the book, we've been following along this politics book. We're going to learn about politics. If you're getting political while we're learning about politics, you're just getting in the way. You're not getting political. You're getting in the way. Knock it off. You don't need to do that. Alright? You just don't. You don't need to do that. So we're going to learn... So far, we've gotten all the way up to the revolutions of the Americas and France, and I don't think Britain, England already dealt with its revolutions and came up with its kings. So we're dealing with the emergence of the United States, the emergence of France. We've got Germany kicking in. We've got a whole bunch of new revolutionary thoughts that are kicking in between the time period of 1770 and 1848. So let's read. Wow. Big section to start this off with? Wow, we got a big section to start it off with. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Yeah, let's just go. Let's just get into it. let's do a quick little skimming of the intro here. We've got the 17th century had seen immense progress in the understanding of the world, the natural world. New approaches to the problems presented by discoveries in science, in turn, helped inform different ways to approach social problems. English philosopher Thomas Hobbes had introduced the notion of the social contract, based on his ideas of how rational but selfish individuals would function in the state of nature, while another Englishman, John Locke, had provided a rational argument for private property. These early enlightened efforts to rationalize social structure would, however, be subverted by writers also claiming to work in the tradition known as the Enlightenment. So we're still trying to figure out, like, the hierarchy of social structures and you know, like, is the laborer better than the labor? This was a great intellectual movement that aimed to clear away the centuries of scholasticism from human knowledge and reform society using reason rather than faith. So let's just jump into it, because we got a big section to start it off with. They're not dicking around here, right? Neither are we. Let's get into it. To renounce liberty is to renounce being a man or woman. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. For centuries in Western Europe, a certain style of thinking about human affairs prevailed. Under the sway of the Catholic Church, the writings of ancient Greece and Rome had been steadily studied and rehabilitated, with outstanding intellectuals such as Augustine of Hippo and Thomas Aquinas rediscovering ancient thinkers. These are church thinkers that are rediscovering Greek philosophy and such. A scholastic approach treating history and society as essentially unchanging, and the higher purpose of morality as fixed by God, had come to dominate the ways in which society was considered. 2 plus 2 will always equal 4. There is zero reason to doubt that, no way to even need the research why 2 plus 2 equals 5. So Scholastic says 2 plus 2 will never equal 5. It took the upheavals associated with the development of capitalism and urban life to begin to tear this approach apart. Sometimes it equals 5. In the 16th century, Niccolo Machiavelli, in a radical departure with the past, had turned the scholastic tradition on its head in The Prince, drawing on ancient examples not to act as a guide to moral life, but to demonstrate how an effective statecraft or politics could be cynically performed. Thomas Hobbes, writing his Leviathan during the English Civil War of the mid-17th century, so I guess they had a war, used the scientific method of deduction rather than the reading of ancient texts to argue for the necessity of a strong state to preserve security among the people. So, you don't like the Greeks? You don't like how the Greeks got there? Let me show you how I got there, is how Thomas Hobbes was looking at it. However, it was Jean-Jacques Rousseau, an idiosyncratic Swiss exile from Geneva, a weirdo from Geneva, whose personal life scandalized polite society, who proposed the most radical break with the past. Rousseau's autobiographical Confessions, published after his death, revealed that it was during his time in the Italian island port of Venice, while working as an underpaid ambassadorial secretary, so he was an ambassador's secretary, that he decided everything depends entirely on politics. People were not inherently evil, but could become so under evil governments. The virtues he saw in Geneva and the vices in Venice, in particular, the sad decline of the city-state from its glorious past, could be traced not to human character, but to human institutions. In his Discourse on Inequality of 1754, Rousseau broke with previous political philosophy. The ancient Greeks and others writing on society, including Ibn Khaldun in the 14th century, viewed political processes as subject to their own laws, working with an unchanging human nature. The Greeks, in particular, had a cyclical view of political change in which good or virtuous modes of government, whether monarchy, democracy, or aristocracy, would degenerate into various forms of tyranny before the cycle was renewed again. Society, as such, did not change, merely its form of government. Rousseau disagreed. If, as he argued, society could be shaped by its political institutions, there was, in theory, no limit to the ability of political action to reshape society for the better. It doesn't have to get worse for it to get better. This assertion marked Rousseau as a distinctively modern thinker. Nobody before Rousseau had systematically thought of society as something distinct from its political institutions, as an entity that was itself capable of being studied and acted upon. Rousseau was the first, even among the philosophers of the Enlightenment, to reason in terms of social relations among people. This new theory begged an obvious question. If human society was open to political change, why then was it so obviously imperfect? Well, if we haven't gotten better yet, what of it? Rousseau provided, again, an exceptional answer, and one that scandalized his fellow philosophers. As his starting point, he asked that we consider humans without society. Thomas Hobbes had argued such people would be savages, living lives that were poor, nasty, brutish, and short. But Rousseau asserted quite the opposite. Human beings free from society were well-disposed, happy creatures, content in their state of nature. We are noble savages. Only two principles guided them. The first, a natural self-love and desire for self-preservation, and the second, a compassion for their fellow human beings. I'm not doing well. Maybe you're not doing well either. Let's try and figure out how to do well together. The combination of the two ensured that humanity reproduced itself generation after generation in a state close to that of other animals. Okay, so that's nature, right? That's nature. This happy condition was, however, brutally brought to a close by the creation of civil society, and in particular the development of private property. The arrival of private property imposed an immediate inequality on humanity that did not previously exist. Between those who possessed property and those who did not. By instituting this inequality, private property provided the foundations of further divisions in society between those of master and slave, and then in the separation of families. On the foundation of these new divisions, private property then provided the mechanism by which a natural self-love turned into destructive love of self, now driven by jealousy and pride, and capable of turning against other human beings. It's kind of like all those Christmas movies where the two families start battling each other to who can decorate their house the best. And it's not even about the decorations anymore. Now it's about the best. It became possible to possess and acquire and to judge oneself against others on the basis of their material wealth or Christmas decorations. Civil society was the result of division and conflict working against a natural harmony. Rousseau built on this argument in The Social Contract, published in 1762. Man was born free and he is everywhere in chains. This is Rousseau. We're still working with, Jean-Jacques. While his earlier writings had been resolutely bleak in their opposition to conventional society, The Social Contract sought to provide the positive foundations for politics. Like Hobbes and Hugo Grotius before him, Rousseau saw the emergence of a sovereign power in society as the result of a social contract. People would choose to forfeit their own rights to a government, handing over their full liberty to a sovereign in return for the king, in Hobbes' account, providing security and protection. Hobbes argued that life without a sovereign pushed humanity back to a vile state of nature. By handing over the degree of liberty, in particular liberty to use force, and swearing obedience, a people could guarantee peace, since the sovereign could end disputes and enforce punishments. Alright, so that's Hobbes. Rousseau rejected this. It was impossible, he thought, for any person or persons to hand over their liberty without also handing over their humanity, and therefore destroying morality. A sovereign could not hold absolute authority, since it was impossible for a free man to enslave himself. Establishing a ruler superior to the rest of society transformed humanity's natural equality into a permanent political inequality. For Rousseau, the social contract envisioned by Hobbes was a form of hoax by the rich against the poor. There was no other way that the poor would agree to a state of affairs in which the social contract preserved inequality. Yeah. We'll make them think they're equal. The societies that existed then were not formed in the state of nature, deriving their legitimacy from improvement over that time. Rather, Rousseau argued, They were formed after we had left the state of nature, and property rights, with the resultant inequalities, had been established. Let's do whatever it takes to make everyone feel okay. You want me to give up my house? No. Let's make sure everyone feels okay and I can keep my house. It was civil society and property that led to war, with the state as the agency through which war could be pursued. What Rousseau offered in The Social Contract was the possibility of this dire situation transforming into its opposite. The state and civil society were burdens on individuals, depriving them of a natural freedom. But they could be changed into positive extensions of our freedom if political institutions and society were organized effectively. The social contract, instead of being a pact written in fear of our evil natures, could be a contract written in the hope of improving ourselves. The state of nature might have been free, but it meant people had no greater ideals than that of their animal appetites. More sophisticated desires could only appear outside the state of nature in civil society. To achieve this, a new kind of social contract would be written, where Hobbes saw law only as a restraint and freedom existing only in the absence of law. Rousseau argued that laws could become an extension of our freedom, provided that those subject to the law also prescribed the law. Freedom could be won within the state rather than against it. Freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. La 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 la. To achieve this, the whole people must become sovereign. A legitimate state is one that offers greater freedom than is obtainable in the raw state of nature. We've got to become better than just rando monkeys. To secure that positive freedom, a person must also be equal. We can't just keep throwing poop at each other and say that's okay. In Rousseau's New World, liberty and equality march together, rather than in opposition. In The Social Contract, we got a lot left here. You know what? Yeah. Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up next time. Pick it up next time. I feel like we need to pick it up next time. That's important enough that we're not going to skim past it. We still got plenty of time though, don't we? We got like 5 minutes. We got popular sovereignty, hold on, private versus general will, revolutionary icon, new contract. Basically, let's skip to the end and see how it all ties together. If you have the book, you can read it here. Rousseau's belief in the sovereignty of the people, that we can make our own decisions, and the perfectibility of both people and society, has had an immense impact. In the French Revolution, the Jacobins adopted him as a figurehead. The Jacobins were, I think, the people that led the French Revolution, I think. The Jacobins adopted him as a figurehead for their own belief in the necessity of a ruthlessly complete egalitarian transformation of French society. In 1794, he was reinterred in the Pantheon, Paris, as a national hero. Over the next 2 centuries, Rousseau's work also acted as a touchstone for all those who wished to see society radically overhauled for the common good, from Karl Marx onward. Similarly, the arguments against Rousseau during his life and after have helped to shape both conservative and liberal thought. In 1791, Edmund Burke, one of the founders of modern conservatism, held Rousseau to be almost personally responsible for the French Revolution and what he saw as its excesses. Writing almost 200 years later, the radical liberal philosopher Hannah Arendt believed the errors in Rousseau's thinking helped to drive the revolution away from its liberal roots. People got ideas. It's been a Monday, folks. It's been a Monday. Thanks for dealing with me, dealing with my phone. I didn't mean for that to happen. But here we are, now we got it plugged in, we're fine. Now we're on a leash. And so on and so on. Thanks for going through the book with me here. Glad you guys are here. Big news coming up. Pops will tell you tomorrow. We got a big news this morning. It was really cool. Nerdy, I think you might be right there. Let's take one more. I think this might be a really good hybrid on the sativa side, because I am jamming right now. Let's clean the alternator one more time. Let's drop down to 1, level 1. I'm doing level 3 here. Scroll me out while I do this. Let's get out of here, folks. Let's go home. That's a dibble. It's the strain is cherry something or other. I don't know. Strain of the alternator is cherry something or other. Dabble. And we got one more. We got the Double here. This one's for everybody. I dedicate this Double especially to Shy. And Nerd and Kim and MVP and Catzilla and Brian and Bill and all of you. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's do the scroll. Thanks everyone for participating and hanging out. And so on, and here we go. By the way, good morning, Cleany. Good morning. Was Nipper here? I didn't. Aaron, good morning. Just for a second. Okay, we got 1 Smoky Toki, 2 Smoky Toki, right, Cleany. Herbie. We've got. Let's go with Let's start with Kim Bolton. Hey, Kim, thanks for the show. Thank you, Kim, for being here. Jody's. That's with the talking with the Aaron and so on. Okay, we got Laura Divine. Have a fabulous day. You too, Laura. Thank you very much. We'll get to you. We'll do the Laura in a minute here. Jesus Christ, it's the Matrix and such. Absolutely. The WAS solving problems together. Maybe. I really wish that would have charged my phone. That's all I'm saying. So I just need a 15 watt. That's all. I'll get a 15 watt and I'll fix it. Not a big deal. Shy, have a great day. Laura, Bill D with the emotes. Carnivorous, have a great day, all. Love, peace, and Bud Grease. People from Cleany. Love you, Cleany. Joe D's, Cypress Hill. Next on Breaking the Radio. Maybe. Bill D, have a great night. JC, have a great night. JC. Herbie Von Werby, have a great Monday. Brock and T Crew, you too. Herbie Von Werby. M420 with the smokes. I got him. Nerd Nature, love you, Mushroom. Super fun on the early eve of your day. You too, Nerd Nature. Clean Girl with the smokes. I got him. Jesus Christ, catching tomorrow. Bill Mate, catching tomorrow too. Jesus Christ, catching now. I don't know. Clean Girl with and Shy with the Clean Girl and the Shy with the Aaron and the Jodies and the Catzilla. Have a great day, Brock. You too, Catzilla. Herbie Von Werby. I had a Candy Cane live resin pen. Nice. Herbie, I bet that's really pretty. Melody Dawn, hugs to all, hugs to you. Niffer Mama, have a beautiful day and week, all you too, Niffer. I'm so glad you're here. Paige, have a good day, everyone. You too, Paige. I'm so glad you're here. M420, Mr. 420 to you. Procinator, you too. I'm so glad you're here. Alright, Herbie Von Werby, Clean Girl, Classic, have an awesome, incredible day, T Crew and Brock, you too. Michael Patterson, the week starts and Shanti prevails. Absolutely, Michael. Much love to you, my friend. Michael, Bill D, I need. We all need. That's the problem, Bill. Melody Dawn, bye, Brock. Give Pops a hug and the rest of the T Crew. Absolutely. We're going to get to there, but Melody, you're on the list. I didn't want to read that word, but you made me read that. Okay, we're going to get to you, I promise. Joe D's, appreciate you. Much love, Lobster. Thank you, Joe. Love you too, my friend. Aaron, Bill D, Notorious, have a good day. Remember, rub hard, grab some butt cheeks, breathe heavy in my ear. Jesus Christ, why did I read that? I don't know what that means. Herbie Von Werby, Cotton Candy. Cops. Jesus Christ. Aaron. Okay, we're at the end. I don't think I'm allowed to read anything of what any of you say anymore. Squeeze, rub? I don't know what that means. Alright. For Jesus Christ in Australia, we're going to do this backwards. We're going to count down 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to release. Okay? And so we're just going to, which means, I don't know how you're not hugging already. How are you not hugging already? Okay? How are you not I'm kidding. No, that didn't. It was a little weird. You have to be like, oh my God, I got a hug now. I don't want to do that to you guys. I want you guys to really get into the hug, okay? So we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and then hug, okay? 3, 2, 1, hug. Oh, man. Oh, there it is. You got a little hernia thing going on. Oh, there. Yeah. No, it's like when you're skydiving and you just kind of hold on. I don't know if I want anybody hugging me from behind if I'm skydiving. But also, I don't know if I want to, hug from, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to go skydiving because of the, that felt good. Alright. Go home, folks. Thanks for having a great Monday. I hope you guys have a great Monday. We'll be back tomorrow. Same Pops time, same Pops channel. And whatnot. Okay. Just